Angel Reese walks in a bar with Asia Wilson and Caitlin Clark. These bookies don't know where to start. We be killing them all, tearing them apart. They can't mess with us, they can't mess with you. And I'm never gonna cuss cause I love you too. Hit thumbs up if you want good luck. Girls thinking that we fresh so they wanna We be winning the bets and they be rolling up. By far we the best, you ain't good enough. Ain't a damn thing funny, man, you know what's up. You wanna win some money, it's time to lock in, bruh.
Lock in, lock in, lock in.
Lock in, bruh.
Lock in, lock in.
Shelton comes over. That's a flagrant foul. It's a hard
Lock in, bruh.
And here we got another.
Lock in.
Keep the applause going. Just Cash in the building. What's up, bro?
What up? What up? Welcome back, fam. We are here. A little Thursday action. We got 2 games to talk about tonight, but it is just cash. Let's go. Lock it in, fam. Lock it in right now.
Hey, we're back. Let's go, man. 17-4 on the season. How mad can they be? And Cam Stacks, new name. What's up? Welcome, welcome, says, who made that intro? It's fire, and I have to shout myself out. Let's go me! Let's go me!
That's some in-house production. Shout out to our MC, big underrated here.
Appreciate
Also,
you,
what's
Cam.
good, man?
Oh, I'm feeling good today, E. I feel like a couple days I was a little under the weather the past few days, but I'm back and ready today. I love the value we got. We had a few late plays last night that didn't come through, but we had the main plays that we really loved. All of them happened as we wanted them to happen, as we thought they would happen. And I love when that occurs because we're back, baby. We're back. This is a new season. This is not like last season. We're going to ride all the way through 100 units will be ours today. Not today, this season. Let's go. And what up, though? Logan's here. He said, what up, though? Michigan.
What up? What
And you know
up?
how I remember that, Logan? I said yesterday, Texas, because it reminds me of, I used to go on tour with these guys, right? Used to go on tour with D5. What's her name? I don't even remember their name. It's been so long now. Who used to ride with Eminem? D12. Used to
D12,
went on tour with D12, and they said, "What up, though?" every day. What up, though? So that's how I know. And he said, he said, "What up, though?" yesterday. I said, "Is that Texas?" Because I remember in Devin the Dude and them. No, they said already. And I thought it was "What up, though?" And I said, "Is that Texas?" He said, "Nah, bro, Michigan." Should have known. Anyways, what up, though?
What up, though? Yeah, man, coming back here for some more actions today. Like you said, we locked in some pretty good value. And if you got a second, did you want to go ahead and post that 24.5 double stacker?
Yeah, let's do that. I'll do that while you give them the intro.
Yeah, man. So you already know we're talking WNBA. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Turn the noties on so you don't miss out whenever we do go live. Typically, we stream Monday through Friday, especially when full effect of the WNBA season. Might even have a couple two-a-days on Fridays. You know, weekend ball can be pretty busy. But make sure to hit that like button if you appreciate us, what we're doing here, or if you made some cash with us. We are up 6.32 units already. Should be even more, but we learned. A couple learning curves from yesterday. But all in all, I mean, yesterday, you know, we had 6 plays, went 4-2. Can't be too mad about that. Morrow was an absolute nuke. I mean, she hit every single prop that we were looking at, except for the turnovers, ironically. So kind of happy they ended up moving the payout for that. But it is her team while Aaliyah Edwards is not on the court, and especially with Griner off the court. But we did get news. Looks like things are going to flip. Edwards and Griner look like they are likely to play tomorrow, and then Dota Bird might be sitting out, so we'll keep an eye out for that. But Morrow, astounding. First half cash, you know, hit everything for us, and man, she is a baller. I'm a huge fan of her game.
Guess what, E? I have some bad news. Guess what just happened as I'm about to try to put this in? Marine up. Yep, you see it on your screen, and Miles is just gone. They just took both our plays and said, nah, how about that?
Well, they just blotted out the entire fantasy board. So all this stuff might either one get taken down and they're going to rework the board, or I would hate if all this stuff is gone. That sucks, man. All right, well, let's hit the refresh. I mean, Miles should still be there, so that's kind of unfortunate. But if oh wow, the entire WNBA app is just gone, so that's fun.
Oh, weird.
Thank you, Underdog. Much appreciated.
Damn, they took away Miles alt, PA alt, and they took away, well, her PRA alt will be back. That's fine. Johannes at 24.5 fantasy was a smacker, though. You got it in, though, right?
I did. And, we at least were able to tag it out in the Discord. So, again, if you guys not a part of that, make sure to hop in. Still running the 7-day free trials. Let's see, we posted that like 15 minutes ago, and they already took it down. Now, I mean, we could get it still back at 25.5, which honestly, I'm not too mad at it if it stays at that. But let me know if you guys can whenever they bring the Underdog board back up, because they just took everything down.
Weirdos.
All right. Well, yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, honestly, they took down a lot of plays that we already had. I think Olivia, her PRA and PA will still be an option, but saw this last night. Way too good value to pass up. And of course, the whole field, everybody and their mom's on Olivia today. So we locked in extremely good value. Had her 24.5 PRA at a full payouts, and Underdog, I believe, had it at 0.76 or 0.74. So we'll see what that looks like whenever they bring it back. And then her assist being at 5.5 is just unbelievable, because this ended up moving to 6.5 and even 7.5 on a couple of sites. So I love Miles here. Back in her home turf in Texas, she's going to be getting up for this game. Much easier matchup against Dallas. This really should just be kind of a run and gun situation for both teams, but not too concerned about foul trouble this go around like last game. And she's expected to have a lot of friends and family in that crowd today too. So looking for her to show out a little bit more, and this matchup bodes really well. All those metrics put together, plus her just ability to be a dominant playmaker. I mean, we've seen her really active on the glass, so I'm not too mad at the rebound upside. But the free throw matchup also, big boost for that. I mean, she's somebody who's getting to the free throw line multiple times a game. We know Courtney Williams doesn't really do that a whole lot. And I mean, you kind of look at the supporting players, it's pretty much just her and a little bit of McBride, but I'm expecting big things for her. That mid-range action should be really on display for this matchup. And Dallas still just continues to bleed points inside the paint. I mean, they are number 2 just behind the Sparks currently and just ahead of Indiana. They're not defending the paint at all. And a product of that also being the free throw attempts again from, say, your Alana Smith, all the fouls and stuff that have been going up. And honestly, on paper, I mean, everything's just a green light for her. So amazing value. If you want to play her, she's at 27.5 PRA for her full line. If you want to chase that, to each their own. But I would wait maybe just a little bit, and let's see if Underdog can put some options back up here for us.
There they are.
Okay, there we go. Let's see. No fantasy still. Not surprised.
Losers.
Okay, so this payout did at least come back, so we still have her to play. Let's see.
That is not bad. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's not at all. I was going to say they ticked down Johannes. Her points went down by 1, so we could maybe even get it back at the same line. Bridget did bump up a full point, which is kind of crazy. She was at 12.5 as well yesterday, so seeing a lot of movement there. Let's see, what else do we get? Yeah, Underdog's being really weird, though. I mean, they took down basically almost all the props that we had posted up for everybody. Jessica Shepard, another one. She was at 4.5 assists, and that was only on a couple of different sites, but Underdog did have that for, it was 0.92, I believe, right? Basically a full payout.
Yeah, 0.94.
Yeah. So full payout with any kind of other thing. They removed that completely. So fingers crossed, maybe it comes back and we get something to work with. And then Courtney Williams, we had the under 21.5 PR. They did bump it down to 20, so that could stay in that range. But yeah, I've seen a lot of movement, man. Basically, all these props are almost unavailable now, except for the Miles.
I think people are getting into WNBA right now, man. The first week is pretty much over, NBA is slowing down, less games. People are getting into it right about now.
Yeah. So line movement is definitely going to be there. We more or less are just going to have to hop on value whenever we do see it present itself. Yeah, Courtney, 20.5 there. I still got my fingers crossed that we're going to get some alt unders to work with, but that's kind of to be determined at the moment. No fantasy yet. That's kind of weak sauce.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, we'll keep an eye out for that. But hey, if you guys got any questions, comments, make sure and throw them down below. We'll kind of go through everything that we can, and then if there's any kind of late news or anything that pops up, we'll make some moves after that too. All right. So let's just kind of, I guess, glance over Olivia just to give you more of a scope on what's going on with her. I love the playmaking. I mean, so far in the first 2 games, she had almost a 50% and a 40% assist rating. So I think this makes total sense. Dallas, again, with the pace and total, they are allowing a pretty high clip of assist. They did this last year where we saw a little bit of back and forth as far as, the point guards seeing that massive uptick. Your Caitlin Clarks, your ATs were usually faring really well in this matchup. Saw a little bit of a dip down here. Like Clark, she only had 7 assists this last game, but that was with a lot of supporting cast not really playing so well either. I think there's some more positive regression that we should see out of this, but still scoring metrics. I mean, you look at any kind of volume shooters down here, Gray, Canada, Clark, I mean, even Kelsey, all of them well above their point prop line. So really, really confident in that showing up today. I would not be surprised to see her score 20 real points. I know it's a wild take, but I'm just saying 20 real points I think is definitely in the realm of possibility for us. But the other metrics too look great. Field goal attempts and offensive usage hovering at least in the mid-20 range. I mean, she's at least first or second on the field goal attempts in the team, overall rating and usage and everything. But even with the rebounding, we're still hovering right around 20%. So defensive rebounds are going to be really primo in this matchup. I think Dallas is allowing top 2. Where they at? Top five. So still pretty high clip. I think there's a lot for her to be said there, and the free throw rating should also be pretty sweet for her. So, man, all in all, I'm excited. I think this is a great bounce back spot. Shouldn't be too concerned about foul trouble, and we're gonna lock those 2 in. Well, we already locked them in. You lock them in.
We locked them in. You guys lock them in. We're at 15 likes, guys. Appreciate it. 10 more for good luck. You know how that goes. But, man, we've been smacking that 25 likes. You guys have been so freaking amazing, man. We got 45 yesterday, I think, and 40-something the day before, I want to say. But, yeah. Love it, man. Amazing. Appreciate you guys. C-Dot is here. Let's effing go. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Join the Discord, he says. Yeah. Appreciate you, C-Dot, always, man. Join the Discord. That cannot be overstated, man. All this value we've been getting every single day, so... Jump in the Discord. It's not too much. We got a little deal for the full WNBA season. If you check the description, we have links to all that stuff. And I think it's well worth it, man. Sean's here. He says, we're here, yo. What's up, Sean? Cam Stacks. Appreciate you, bro. Talking about the intro. Give me a little love. That feels good. Sean says, anyone here going to watch Ronda? Oh, he's talking about some MMA. Yeah, I'm going to watch that, Sean. I am.
Who's her? Karana or whatever? That's her opponent?
Yeah, I don't really know her, but she's famous. Somehow she skipped my radar over the years. I don't know. But it should be fun. Ngannou's fighting. Bunk Nate Diaz. I like Nate Diaz. He's a little funny, though. Mike Perry. Should be interesting. Logan says, what up, though? What up, man? Tapping in the fight, talking about the fight. DJ Johnson's here. What's up, bro? It's time to get paid. Stanley Williams says, what up, though? Hey, we got some what up, doughs. I like what up, though. Sean says he's here. QD is here. I'll let you get to it. I just want to get through the hellos to everybody. What's up, Q Donkey? He says, do you like page free field goals made? And Big Two's here. What's up? Stanley Williams says, I've been waiting on y'all with these picks. WNBA, y'all be on it. Appreciate you, man. God dang, we got a lot of comments, E. You guys are super dope.
Love it.
What's your fave to play on Underdog or Prizepicks? And I'm going to just let you get into it, E, and I will finish up these in a little bit. I'm going to let you get through some of your stuff.
Yeah. So obviously, the closer we get towards lock, and especially, I would say, ideally, sometime past 3 p.m. Eastern, they make a lot of bumps and a lot of adjustments on the stuff. So it's a little bit harder to lock in value this late into the the afternoon, if you will. But there's still a lot of options. Right now, I'm kind of waiting on Underdog to stop dragging their feet and see if we can get a few other things to work with. But Prizepicks, some pretty interesting options still. I mean, you can't get Miles on here, and her 24.5 PRA is, where you at, girl? Where you at? I think it is a 2. Oh man, this was a 2.5 earlier, so they kind of nerfed that into the ground a little bit more. I mean, I'm still honestly fine with that. I know we had a question about Paige's field goal attempts. I like Paige, man, but this is just, there's so many mouths to feed on this team. Anytime last year probably would have been a slam dunk prop, but Arike looks like her old self. She's taken a ton of shots for the team. We still haven't really seen Alana Smith play any kind of meaningful minutes. She should take a few 3-pointers. And then I believe, is Fudd active tonight or not? Let's see.
QD said Paige field goals made, not attempted, by the way.
Oh, made? Let's see. Shit, 6.5 if I had to guess. Dog. They have way too many props on Prizepicks now. Okay, yeah, 6.5. I mean, she's ultra efficient. I got to give her flowers in that regard. She's extremely efficient just on whatever the volume is. It's just a little concerning. Only 10 and 12 field goal attempts the last 2 games, is way under her marker. So I'm not really sure if maybe the coach is just trying to have her distribute a little bit more, play a little bit more, team ball, if you will. She's got to have more attempts, man. I mean, no ifs, ands, or buts. She should be shooting the ball at least 15 plus times a game. And I don't know what's going on with them, but they got to run more offense through her. So this would be a perfect game for a bounce back spot, but I just don't know if I'm sold on it, honestly. I need a little bit more out of that. But I will say the PRA at 28.5, very, very low for her. Her playmaking and all that stuff's been a little bit all over the place. I mean, I would expect some kind of positive regression in either that or the rebounding, because she's been really good about that last year too. Realistically, right now, the only safe route is going to be the points. So, I mean, you can take the field goals made, field goals attempt, or even just the points. But I will say, low-key, I'm a big fan of the free throw made. I know she's been just shy of that marker, but she's really, really crafty about getting to the foul line, or getting to the free throw line from fouls. But, yeah, man, I just don't know how to feel about her. She's very appropriate right now. All her lines are appropriate.
Don't make me repeat what I said yesterday. Can't do it, man. If I had to do anything, I'd go under her points. Ouch. Sounds bad, huh?
It's tough, man. It's tough. She's just such a great player, but right now the water's a little murky.
You see, I altered her assist to 4.5 and went over that a little bit just for fun. I think that's decent.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're getting a decent payout for that. Or are we?
No,
okay,
not on there. I played it on good old Better. I played it with Johannes assists. Pretty good payout, actually. If you guys don't have Better is interesting. I just realized the last few days, Better actually has totally different lines, like from a different odds provider, or they do their own thing. I don't know what it is, but they have a few things that all the other sites don't. So pretty cool. Always having options is important.
So I'm just perusing through news here real fast.
And I'm not a Jake Paul fan either. It's just, I like money.
Hey, I love money.
Who doesn't? That's why we're here.
Still no fantasy, man. What are we doing, Underdog? Come on now. Throw me a bone here. Yeah. So we will circle back to building some slips with Underdog. I don't know what's going on with them right now, but we'll pump the brakes on that. Now, on Prizepicks, we pretty much talked about all the props to begin with. I mean, I think, Johannes is pretty straightforward. That was a great value play. There's still only currently 9 active players they're running with. Rebecca Allen might be back today. So there was a bit of a debate as far as, do we go with Johannes or do we go with, oh my God, why can't I ever remember her name? Asir. her props took a massive hike from this last game. I know we played her at 17.55 fantasy. So to see her at like 26, 27 fantasy is a little bit of a head scratcher. But our conclusion that we more or less came through was, if we're looking at the rotations and stuff, they did run Astier a little bit more as like a stand-in small forward. She would sub back in for Stewie and for a couple of the other bigs, whereas Johannes just played really sustainable minutes. I mean, she basically just matched a lot of minutes with Stewie, and Stewie played the entire second, third, and fourth quarter of last game. So she had a little bit more breaks. Johannes, that is, in between that. But I think she is a little bit more locked in for just overall minutes compared to either Lainey or Pauline here. Becca Allen will come back in and play small minutes. I honestly think like 10 to 12 minutes at best, with it just being the first game back. But still, they could, a hand in the cookie jar, another person in the rotation mixes it up a little bit. But Johannes, I mean, she's been proven so far all 3 games. And if you look at just the difference in the line movement, like I said, with Astier this last game, she basically went up 50% from what her lines were this last game. Whereas Johannes, she was at 17 flat, 17 and a half right before locks. So for her to only be at 20 right now, I think is very fair. And she is still 19 and a half on Bet365 too, if you guys have that access. So I think she just makes a lot more sense. I mean, she's been steady. She's been playmaking like we knew that was going to happen, and she's still taking double-digit field goal attempts every game. So I think she's the safer play if we're just looking at the comparison between the two.
They both make sense. That Johannes fantasy, man, dang, that was the one.
I know. We could get lucky, come back at, or just stay at 25 and some change, but we shall circle back to that. Yeah. Now, looking at Courtney Williams, I mean, her line, no ifs, ands, or buts. You still can't get it at 21 flat on Prizepicks, so there is somewhat of an option available for us there, but she did get bumped down to 20 and a half on most sites. And I mean, if you look at her so far this season, hasn't cleared that in either game. I mean, the rebounds especially, very, very high for her. I don't know why she's at 5.5, because she was not about that last season. With or without fee, doesn't really matter. And then you look at the matchup from this game specifically against Dallas. She barely sniffed 5 rebounds one time, but rest of them way, way shy of that. Really, I think, honestly, we're just sweating the points more than anything. She could have a little pop-off game here, but I mean, you look at the rest of the game, she was really underwhelming for that. And then also for this season's start so far, I mean, only 14 and 11 points. And this is with insane field goal volume too, which I don't think is anything sustainable for her. We're going to see some of these other players start to get active, and it's only a matter of time before, she kind of recedes like she does every single year, because that just happens. She'll pop off and then fall off a cliff, pop off, fall off a cliff. And then we saw it a lot down the stretch of the end of last year. So pace and total, a little bit scary in that aspect, but I still think they have great defenders on the other side. Good chance she's going to see either Sims or Page. And I think Sims probably the best choice here. Doesn't really foul a whole lot, so she shouldn't get any kind of extra free throw upside from that. But bookies apparently agree. They did bump her down, so the best line, at least right now, still get it at 21 flat on Prizepicks.
All right, cool. I have a little update here. It's kind of some good news here. If you guys don't have anything on Underdog yet, they did put Shepard's assist back at the same price here at 0.94x. And I was looking on these other sites, man, her assists are way worse odds. Props Builder has her at, what was it? Minus 173. And we're basically getting full payout on Underdog. So that's a really good value. So you can throw her 4.5 assists, and you can put it with Miles alt 24.5, 2.5x. And I'm just going to keep saying it, guys, in case you don't know. Underdog has 3.5x for 2 picks. So you can alt one play and still get pretty similar value as, not pretty similar value, pretty similar payout as Prizepicks with a way easier play. So if you haven't made the move, definitely get some Underdog. And I'm not getting paid from them. I am getting paid from them from winning, but they're not sponsoring us or anything. I'm just saying they got better payouts over there for those 2 picks. So make sure you dive into that. That's a nice little 2 pick you got over your head there.
They do, and it's a 2.5x for this. So, playing a line that we don't have access to on most sites, and then getting to play an all line with that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, man. They're basically two alts.
Also, Underdog was giving out a 30% boost for WNBA and for all sports, so you can slap that on there and get you a little 3x action.
Man, I don't think you can beat that. Now, we know how assists go. Shepard could come out and burn us, but it's just about playing the value, and long term, they will come through.
I agree. And if you look at the first two games, this one against Indiana, she had 9 potential assists and converted all 9 of them. So that was unbelievably lucky. I mean, it's an unbelievable rate. Typically, that 2-to-1 ratio, but even still, let's say she does the same thing here again, needing her to convert 50%. It looked a hell of a lot different in that second game. And there's plenty of additional playmakers on the team. We were just looking at Paige a second ago. Her usage rating should take a bigger step forward. And this matchup, too, I think honestly bodes a little bit better for scoring inside the paint for the bigs themselves. Yes, we're going to have a sweet little revenge matchup for both Shepard and Alana going up against their former team. But you look at the front court size on Minnesota, and it's pretty lackluster. So for me personally, I think this is a game where they can feed both of these bigs here. I mean, Alana's still going to have maybe a little bit of potential foul trouble going up against Natasha Howard on the other side, big Nate Dogg. But Shepard should have pretty easy free will here. We're already looking at Mia Coffey possibly being out for this game to start with. So we're going to get, if she sits, Chikova, I believe is how her last name is pronounced. Yeah, Emma, big Emma here. Should get the spot start. She's a pretty big girl. She's got some height. Should be able to hold her own for a little bit. But that front court is already depleted. And if we lose another person here in Coffey, I mean, I think the best game script Dallas could have would just be driving inside the paint, get that mid-range action going, slash into the basket, and try and draw fouls. So that works a little bit negatively for her as far as just playmaking and overall usage. And somewhere in between these two, 3 assists, I think is probably a normal outing for her. But Alana Smith, also a secondary playmaker, more minutes that she has, the more usage she's going to take away. And then Paige, just circling back to Paige and Enrique, both of them very, very good playmakers. And there's just way too many people in here. Way too many people.
For sure. Love it. I love that we get to see the potential assists, because no one's going to look at that and think, oh, she got 9 assists. No one's going to think she only got 9 potentials. They're going to think, oh, wow, I can't mess with that. It's scary. But we got the little info. Thank you, Props Madness, for throwing that info out for us. That's amazing. So feeling good about that.
It's a little cut off on the bottom of my screen there. But if you look at just how, at least, I mean, yes, a small sample size, only 2 games, but so far through those games where the assist and playmaking is coming from it's the guards here. The guards are kicking it back to the inside, where you can see all 3 of these players went over their marks. And then the bigs themselves, we had Alyssa Thomas and Reese, who've been pretty good playmakers, but Alyssa Thomas especially, both of them coming up shy on that regard. But their scoring marks also looked a hell of a lot better, putting up double digits in all 3 games. So I think we see a lot of that, man. It's going to be the flip of that, the guards kicking it in and just trying to drive it in the paint.
Yeah, I like it. Nice little play. I bet I'd be surprised if a lot of people were on that one. So I'm glad we snuck that one in. And I'm very surprised it's back on the board right now. So if anyone hasn't played it yet, it's pretty nice value.
Yeah, Prizepicks says they're at 4 flat. Yeah.
Yeah, and everywhere else, I don't think anyone has. If they do have 4.5, it's like I said, minus 170. So it's huge. It's huge. I think they kind of messed up there. They probably took everything off and then put everything back, and they haven't removed it yet again. Probably just.
Yeah, I think so.
It's actually 3.5 on most sites. FanDuel, Bovada, DraftKings, Sleep. Oh, well, there you go. Hopefully you guys got it in. That's probably what happened, bro. They removed the board and then put the whole thing back and then forgot, then went back the other way. So Hopefully somebody caught it. I got it in there one time. I was about to post it, but I guess you can't do that anymore. But, we're on the right track. Things like that happen. We're doing the right thing.
Hey, again, I hate to flex and shout out, but we did post one with slip with her earlier with Courtney Williams under. So if you guys, again, got to be a part of that Discord, come hop in. Still running that 7-day free trial. Anybody who's been in here in the first week, you already made your month subscription and then some. So hop in. You got to lock it in, baby. Lock it in.
It's good for everyone. What's up?
I smell hamburgers being cooked downstairs.
Oh, lucky you. I'm hungry now. Heat and Force says, do you like any McBride today?
Honestly, I do. This is a really good spot for volume guards. I'm glad that they at least bumped McBride's props back down a little bit. She was skirting up towards the 16.5 points. We're getting an extremely good value. I know the payout could be better, but this 1.5 3-point made is way too low for McBride. She's going to take a lot of attempts. Honestly, though, I like her just straight up points. You can get the 15.5, or I believe her 15 plus was pretty solid on Bet365. Let me check for you real fast. Yeah, minus 145 for a 14.5 line. I like that quite a bit. I don't know if I trust her RA necessarily. The rebounds, I could see a little bit of that action, but yeah, I like her points. Also, her first half, let's see if they bumped it. Yeah, her first half PRA, 10.5, pretty solid. I know Phoenix was a little bit of a tougher matchup. But yeah, really just looking more for straight up points, though. Also, another random side topic here. The first half for both Asir and Johannes are cheaper on Prizepicks. This was at 10 earlier for Asir, and Underdog has her at 11.5.
Love it. Hey, you know what's funny? You know how I hate betting on threes? I will say, when you said 1.5 threes for McBride at that decent payout on Underdog, I was pretty much thinking, actually, you know what? That's not bad. And I hate threes, but she's in a good spot. We know she's going to chuck threes. She's hit over 1.5 in the 2 early games that weren't even as good of a matchup. I mean, you like the attempts? Or are you just looking at it?
Well, I was going to bring it up, but they had it at 5.5 earlier, which I did like quite a bit, but the 6, I'm good on that. That's a bit of a difference. Yeah, I mean, she definitely lit up Dallas last year. I remember this. Where's her threes? Yeah, she had 6 of them. Busted that ass.
Hey, man. 1.5 threes, McBride?
Bro, I mean, look at this hit rating from last year. 72%.
Saying. There's no Fifi. She
I'm
got
not
a
too
chuck.
mad at it.
She got a chuck. They got to worry about Miles, too.
I mean, it's honestly just the 2 of them. I mean, those are the primary 3-point shooters for the team, so...
Miles doesn't really shoot threes, does she? I mean, she does, but she doesn't. Kayla's the number 1 3-point shooter. We know Courtney can't really shoot either.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much just McBride and Miles. I do like the threes, man. I will say, I know we don't play too many 3-point props, but
I
that was
hate
interesting.
3-point props, but that one's not bad. And I will say a lot of sites got her at 2.5. Most sites do.
Yeah.
Plus money, but still. When you go on Underdog and you play an alt, if you play a 2-pick, man, you're getting almost full value for an alt. So just got to remember, Underdog 2-picks are the way to go. I mean, that's not bad.
Her lines, all of her lines are extremely low. I mean, honestly, I like the points. I like the fantasy on either site. Prizepicks has her slightly discounted, but I mean, basically the same thing on both sites. Yeah, them threes are low, man. They are low.
She was 2 for 6 last game, and 2 for 6 the game before that, and better matchup this time, and decent payout for 2.
Yeah, much better matchup this time around.
Hey, I don't know. We throw it on just lean with it and say we mentioned it later.
What's something? I mean, obviously we can't play with Miles here, but if we were to play it, what's something maybe we can kind of cobble together with that?
Fantasy's back. Go check out Marine. Let's see what they got her at.
Where's my fantasy tab?
I don't know, but it said fantasy on what's her name, so hopefully. Oh, they did it. They did it. Hey, man, that just means we're on the right track. Every single thing we've been locking in has been bumping crazy too, not just a little bump. So, yeah,
Mega bump.
Got to get them in early, man, especially with WNBA because bookies throw them out there and then change it up later. Low liquidity as well, so lines move easier. Hey, gotta get him in early. Hey, Big Kev's here. What's up, bro? Says I'm in here. What's up, man? Moolah's World says Carlton over threes attempted. What do you think about Carlton threes attempted? And we're at 31 likes, guys. That's amazing. We're already at our over good luck, so that means we're already going to have a good day today, and everyone who hit the likes going to have a good day in their plays as well, so that's a great sign. Carlton over threes attempted. Interesting. Because we were talking Carlton earlier. Now, what is her threes attempted?
It is, let's see, 12 and a half attempts, and then, or 12 overall attempts, and then 5.5, or no, 6.5, sorry.
Ooh, she's chucking. She is chucking.
She is, man. I mean, we know that she's going to be primarily shooting from three. New York, typically, the best way to attack them is from three. I do like this. I think it's a very fair line for her. I would love this if Carla is out, though. This would definitely be a strong consideration. Either that or even just a straight up point or the straight up attempts. Well, probably just straight up points, too. I mean, she can get to the free throw line here and there. Yeah, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. Just maybe kind of keep that in the old back pocket. Another one too, I will say this combo prop between Johannes and Carlton on the books. Both of them are at 2.5 3 points made, so you're getting a little bit of inherent value there. I also get a push factor with 5, but I do like Carlton. I just personally I hate these turnaround rematch games because they are night and day of the previous game. They always. It's something we've seen the last 3 seasons straight. They're always weird. And I don't know when they started to make the schedule awful like this, but guarantee you this game is going to be weirder. Hot take. I think New York actually comes in and absolutely trounces them today.
Yeah, I'm done with money lines. But yes, probably should happen. Something about attempts that feels good at WNBA as well. We just need you to shoot it. We don't need you to make it. Just need you to shoot it. I do like that. While you're pondering that a little bit, Logan says Olivia 7 assists. So what's crazy about that is we got 5.5 assists yesterday. Oof.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's insane. Here, let me just to show you a comparison of how unbelievable her line movement was. Where's that old screenshot I posted last night? Because they had her 6.5 assists for. Here we go. Show you guys here real fast. I know you can't really see that. So zoom it in. All right, so this was her original line that it opened at. It was 7 or more assists at plus 135, and then shortly after we posted her lines, this is her regular line, minus 140 for the over. If you want to play it, man, I think she could easily put up 7 assists here for this game. Getting 8 assists might be pushing it, but the value is so gone, it's not even funny.
Yeah, I hate doing stuff like that. I will say, though, if you do like her assists, you could probably find 6.5 still, right? I know it's 7.5 in certain places, but isn't that 6.5 still somewhere?
Yeah, you can get it right here.
Okay. Yeah, make sure to play. I would. No, 6.9.
If you really want it.
Yeah, Logan, I'd make sure to get it at 6.5 just in case. I mean, there's a really big chance she lands on 7, and then really when you bet 7 on Prizepicks and you're feeling like, oh yay, I get the push. You're feeling like you're getting the other play if the other play and your 2 pick hits, but really they're giving you half as much as you're supposed to get when you push. So it's not as good as it feels. I just kind of learned that recently. So I'm a little off the push thing on Underdog. I'm sorry, on Prizepicks. Anyways, Sean says, how does Atlanta do versus guards?
They are pretty good. Pretty good. They're one of the best three-point defense teams. They're really good about limiting assists and playmaking. They're getting beat up in the paint right now, so just kind of show you. Small sample size, yes, but let's see, Atlanta. All right, Atlanta, let's see, assists. Yeah, bottom 5, field goal attempts, middle of the pack, and three-point attempts, they are bottom 3. And paint matchup, they are top 5 allowed. Top 5 allowed.
Coach DFS is here. He says must be WNBA season because Coach is back. What's up, bro?
Yo, what's up?
3 times, always here with the good vibes. 3-time 3257. Appreciate it, man. He says, what's up, everyone? Happy Thursday. That is what's up. Happy Thursday to everybody. Hopefully we do good today. I hope everyone's bets do well. Louisville Gambler's back. He says Carlton over 1.5 threes is fire. It is. I hate threes, but man, that does make sense. That does make sense.
Yeah, if you could still find that one, that's a really good look. I know most of the sites are a little bit back and forth, the 1.5 or the 2.5. Random find here. I don't know why. Maybe this is just because it's the only one up here, but traditionally they don't give us same team props, so this is kind of interesting that the only rebound combo prop that we have is both on the same team. Keep an eye out for this. We could get a couple late drops for that.
Louisville Gambler, just to add to Bridget, says she hit 5 in the first and 4 in the second. Tis true. What do you think about Smith PR? Stanley Williams says. I'm assuming Atlanta Smith, right? There's no other Smiths. Atlanta PR? I know her minutes have been down. I don't remember. Was it foul trouble last game?
Every game.
Okay. So both games she's had foul trouble, and that's why she's only played low 20s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. She can't keep the hands to herself.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on her assist upside. I mean, this is a matchup that kind of warrants it, and the more minutes as she should be playing, we should see closer to the 3 assists, 4 assist range. I like the rebounding, the scoring. I don't know if I'm necessarily sold on. It's looked pretty awful so far in the preseason in the first 2 games, but it is a low line. It did bump up again, which I mean, a lot of people love pain, and I get the revenge matchup. But it's one of those, if she stays out of foul trouble, I think it's totally fine. The lines are very reasonable. The rebounds also 5.5, still pretty low. But for me, it's always been one of 2 props. I'm either chasing the points upside, or I'm just taking fantasy. She does everything. She offers a lot of block and steal upside. I mean, you can see. Which also is kind of wild to think about. I mean, she's at 2.5 blocks plus steals, but you add everything else together, it makes sense. But I think honestly the best upside that she has is always her fantasy. It's always a fantasy.
Yeah. I don't like betting on her, so I guess the foul trouble is probably most of it. She also disappears a lot. It's just not, there's better things to put money on, I think.
If she doesn't get into foul trouble, though, I will say her first half fantasy is always a smacker.
That foul trouble. You're just cheering for no foul trouble. Logan says he's not sold on Paige. Paige's lines are pretty high for today. 3 times says, what do you have for Marine? And we talked about Marine a bunch earlier. At this point now, we like the fantasy 24.5, but that's now crazy 27.5. What do you like for Marine if you had to play her now? Is there anything left that's decent?
I'm still fine with the PRA. I think within reason, as long as it's not over 21.5. Yeah, so you can still get her at 19.5 on Bet365. I believe Underdog never offered a PRA line to begin with. So let's see. Yeah, still nothing there. And then Prizepicks had her at 20.5, which I'm fine with if they did not move that again. Yeah, 20.5. I'm good with that, honestly. I think that line or her 13.5 points, either one of those, because you should be able to have access to that 13.5 on most books. Oh, man, Underdog took it down too. What the hell? Well, Prizepicks at least has it. I know that for sure. Yeah, so you can get that for a 2.6.
Okay. Louisville Gambler says better is trash, and I agree, it is trash. But I do want to check in case they have different lines every once in a while. Just find a little bit of value with them, I think. Starfall says, I'm loving WNBA first half unders. Bin money. Now, we've done that, obviously, as well with the first half unders. It's kind of fun because there's different values on different sites for those first half plays. Is there any first half unders that stand out to you today? Have you had a chance to look?
For unders?
Yeah, first half.
Oh, snap. Sorry. Randomly saw they added the lacrosse tab up here. Hold up, your boys got a cook later.
Lacrosse is back.
All right, let's see. I mean, JJ kind of high. She was at 14.5 earlier. Laney, another one that, she's been hit or miss. It sucks that they have everyone so low that you want to take the unders for, and then any ones that are consideration for taking overs are really high. Like Stewart, she got bumped up from last game. Paige is right there on the line. I could see Paige totally staying under this first half line and turning up a little bit more in the second half. That's a fair line for her. It's a real fair line. Same thing for Courtney Williams, too. As long as she's not snapping off scoring-wise, I mean, the RA aspect is a little bit more difficult for her.
Alrighty. Dirty Reg's here. What's up, dude? He says, I better just watch WNBA or else I'm going to be homeless if I keep betting it.
No way.
No, he just has to watch it, he's saying. He has to watch it to make sure before he bets, I think. I think that's what he meant. Q Donkey says, thoughts on Lainey Hamilton under PRA/fantasy. Q Donkey always comes with the fun ones. Under Lainey. And I hate Lainey so much. I don't hate her really as a person, but goodness me. We had that play with her last time. I shouldn't hate her. She actually came through. Yeah, what do you think?
The fantasy's still pretty appropriate, honestly. Her PRA did take a bit of a hike down after having a good, better game than we did last time. She was at 20.5 PRA, if I'm not mistaken, and the fantasy was 23 and some change. I don't mind the fantasy. I mean, there's not a whole lot of block and steal upside for this particular matchup. It will depend a little bit more on if Carla is out. I think, honestly, if Carla does not play, there's a real good chance this game could blow out. I mean, she's done a lot of heavy lifting in the first two games so far. But Lainey would make sense if this game does blow out. I mean, we know who's going to go to the bench first. It's going to be her. It's going to be JJ and then Stewart right behind that. So keep an eye out also for her live and or second half lines. She's somebody who also likes to disappear in the second half a whole lot. But I get the feeling we see a blowout and we don't get live or second half props. Second half. We should get live, but not second half.
Starfall says, how you feeling about today's slate? I'm personally fading.
Small stuff. I wasn't that excited about it earlier in the day or last night, but we were able to at least pick out some really good value and stuff that just kind of didn't make a whole lot of sense compared to the other sites. All in all, I'd probably give this slate about a 6.5 out of 10. Tomorrow's going to be a banger slate, and then we're off Saturday, but tomorrow's going to be a phenomenal slate.
There's no games on Saturday?
I'm only excited. No, there is not. We're going to get a little off day.
That's weird.
But I'm really only excited about the Dallas-Minnesota game. The New York game, I think, gets kind of weird.
Yeah. And that Marine... You wrote Marina. You love Mabry, that's why. That Johannes fantasy at 24.5 was the ticket in that other game. Logan said, so we're going less on the assists. That was from before. I believe it's from Miles. I'm not sure. Let me know if that's something you're still thinking about, Logan. Louisville Gambler says, who y'all talking about? But I don't know. I really don't know now. Arike 3.5 2-point made, Logan says. That's interesting. 3.5 2-point made. Wow, that's pretty low. On the surface, at least.
Yeah, kind of weird. Last game she couldn't get her shot from three, and she was getting a lot of foul calls. So she pretty much abandoned shooting from the arc and was trying to get to that mid-range action. I do like it. I mean, I think honestly that's still a really fair price considering how much volume we're seeing out of her overall. The only thing I ever worry about though with her is, when or where does she take a backseat to Paige? Because if that happens, usually Paige is in that mid-range action, and we'll see Arike default a little bit more beyond the arc. Because you look at this team as a whole, they really don't have a whole lot of 3-point shooting. You got a little bit of Paige, a little bit of small bits of Alana, and then basically just Arike. Sims doesn't shoot a whole lot of threes, and she's another slashing guard. So there will be some kind of a trade-off from that, I do think. But
Fudd's a
this is
three-point
the
shooter,
Arike of... Huh?
They need Fudd in there, huh? She's the 3-point shooter, or no? Isn't she a 3-point?
At least just... Yeah, she's another supporting cast from the arc. I don't mind it. I think that's a totally fine play. I'm not the biggest fan of Arike. She always ends up disappointing us, but she's looked great. I will say this is the Arike of past seasons, excluding 2025. I think that was kind of an anomaly, but she looks good.
Quiz615, what's up? New name. What's up, man? Welcome. He says, Wings giving up 12 RA to point guards in the first 2 games. 12 RA to point guards in the first 2 games. Dallas Wings.
Yeah, we were looking at that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad. You just look at their individual metrics, though. Like we kind of talked about this earlier. The playmaking a little bit spotty. I'm assuming that we're talking about either Olivia or Courtney Williams. I think for both of them, their RA is fine. Mostly carrying more weight for the assist upside, but the rebounding, should be very much there. Assuming that we're talking about Olivia, though, she's been really active on the glass, so it makes sense. I think honestly they're going to be asked to do a whole lot this game, but it just depends on how does Dallas attack them from the other side. Are they shooting a bunch mid range or beyond the arc, or are we trying to get Alana Smith and Shepard active down low? Or even Maddie, for that matter. Maddie kind of has fallen out of the rotation a little bit too, but this would be a nice spot for her.
Alrighty. John Appleseed. I like the name. Brianna Stewart, 15.5 field goal attempts. What do you think about that? Brianna Stewart field goal attempts.
It's a fair line. I think that is something that I don't mind. We do need to find out if Becca Allen is going to suit up tonight or not. Let's see. We just got some news. All right, Azzy Fudd available to play, so she is going to be in the mix. Probably see the board get shuffled around a little bit for that, but this is a spot where they're going to need Stewart. I don't know what happened with her last game. She did not show up at all to that first half and really struggled. I know she was living at the free throw line, so that is something to kind of keep in the back of your head there. It's a good line for her, though. I would say the only 2 things I'm worried about, though, is one, if she gets too many free throws and it offsets that, or if the game blows out, she's probably going to go sit down a little bit earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll feel better about that after we get this Becca Allen news, though.
Heaton Force says Johannes 27.5 over fantasy was a prior play, right?
No. I would play her PRA over the fantasy at this point. The original fantasy line that we had was 24.5 on Underdog.
Yeah, they bumped the crap out of it after we got on here. We had 24.5 locking it in, and as we were locking it in on stream, they bumped it and took down fantasy and brought it back up at 27.5. So crazy bump there. So if you're in the Discord, you got it in early. We got it in a little bit before that, but yeah. A little too high now. Dirty Rake says, I'd take the points with the Fire against Liberty again because they didn't play a great game overall and still pulled the win off. I didn't think no way they would even cover how they were playing. So he's back with the Fire again. Okay, we'll see what happens, man. We shall see. He's given the fire he's got some faith in the fire. We need Carla in there for a chance, right? E? We need Carla in there.
Yeah, we definitely need Carla news about that. I mean, she for sure is going to have to play this game. Otherwise, I mean, you're looking at Sarah Ashley Barker probably moving into the starting lineup, or maybe Camilla Smalls. But yeah, they definitely need Carla. She's been the backbone of this team so far.
Cam Stack says, do you like Astier's PRA?
I do. We kind of talked about this earlier. It's just it's hard for me to rationalize taking her over Johannes for basically the same price. I mean, they have them both at 20.5 PRA. The only thing I worry about with her in particular, though, is her rotation is somewhat more of a question mark. I know she played massive minutes the last 2 games, but the game before that in the blowout, she saw a huge reduction where Johannes stayed out there in more time. I do worry if she is not shooting the ball well, there is a reasonable chance that if Van Loo is playing well, she will lose out minutes on that. We saw that in the first game. That's what happened there in particular on top of the blowout. But there's a little bit more of a question mark on her lines. But I do think this is still a good matchup. She should get more RA than what we saw this last game. I don't expect her to go out and score 20-plus points. I don't think that is realistic. But, she could give us 12 points, 7, 8 RA, something like that, and get over this line, I think.
Alrighty. Z-Beast the God, new name. Welcome, welcome, welcome. He says, let's get it. And he says, thoughts on Stewart, 8.5 rebounds.
Yeah, real fast, just in cap on that other thought, though. If I was really wanting to play Astier, this first half line, PRA at 10.5, is really, really appealing on Prizepicks. She plays a lot of first half minutes.
Okay.
Yes. Stewie, I think, again, totally fine. We talked about her in the last 2 games that she's played. That rebounding upside looks really massive. It's been sustainable preseason, first 3 games so far, too. 8.5 is still kind of pushing it, but I think that's totally fine. You can get, let's see, what's she at on Underdog? Stewie. Oh, Stewie. Where you at? There you are. Let's see. They have a 7.5. Now you can squeak away with the 7.5. I'm not too mad at this one for a 0.7. Get a little bit of options there with her. Stewie should be asked to do a lot more this game, though. And JJ, a little bit unreliable, foul trouble in minutes and stuff. Stewie also slightly dependent on Becca Allen because currently they don't have any true backups to be in place for Stewie specifically. They've been using Rebecca Gardner essentially as her backup and kind of floating between her and Astier. If Becca Allen does play tonight, she will have a backup. So just kind of keep that in the back of your head, too.
Okay. Antoine Anthony's here. What's up, dude? He says, slim pickings tonight, fellas, but he does have 2 plays to talk about. He says, Atlanta Smith fantasy under, interesting, and Enrique PA over. Yeah.
Hey, I'm not mad at it. As long as Enrique shows up the way she has the last 2 games so far, that should be a pretty easy walk-up. Fudd is back tonight, so also keep that in mind. Small rotational part. Alana is really just, is she in foul trouble? If she is, 3 unders, and if she's not in foul trouble, I'd just be a little weary. She could fall into some blocks and steals, or especially the blocks in that mid-range action against Minnesota. It's also a revenge matchup for her and Shepard today. Former team.
That's the thing, guys. Also, remember, Prizepicks has live betting where they don't just have second half, they have live. So, with Atlanta, she gets 2 fouls, smack that live under, and they probably won't move it off the board for a little bit of time. You can get that in. Just make sure you got 1 play in the queue already. Put Atlanta under. Boop. Bingo. Money. Thank you. And guess what? We're at the end of the comments, and it is 3:06 perfect timing, and we are at 40 likes. You guys kick major ass.
Yeah, seriously amazing. Seriously. Thank y'all. We love and appreciate all the support and hanging out with us, just talking some basketball during the weekdays. We do have a later lock tonight. 8 Eastern is our first game, and then 2 hours later for the late night hammer. We're going to be getting off of here, getting ready for tomorrow's slate as well. They're starting to fill up more props as we go. We're waiting on a little bit of injury news or certainty for Stevens. We've got a couple players for Chicago. Toronto, we're looking for Fag Bentley, Sparks. Atkins had a head injury this last game. And then Nelson Adota for Connecticut. We'll keep an eye out for that, though. Tomorrow should be a nice slate, though, and we've got a lot of high spread or a lot of high-powered teams, a couple high totals, maybe a blowout here. Again, another turnaround matchup, Vegas and Connecticut. It's kind of annoying. You would think in the CBA agreement that they were able to fix that they would get a better schedule maker, but apparently not.
Nope. Let's do this last comment. BT is real 32. New name, welcome, sir. He says Kayla McBride turnovers and Paige Becker's block steals. Interesting. And Logan says, do you guys stream live during the games? We do not, but in the Discord, we throw out plays when we see them. It is kind of cool to be able to talk them through because you can get them faster because the lines move so fast when you're doing live, but we haven't really got into doing it live like that. To me personally, we got to lock in a few sites at the same time, so it's kind of hard to stream and find the plays at the same time. But I digress. Kayla McBride turnovers, Paige Becker's block steals.
Yeah, let's look at McBride here. Not too bad on the turnovers. She's 50%. I mean, the only problem with her is, she's going to be a little bit more of a spot-up shooter, so the playmaking is going to be far secondary, especially now with Miles and Courtney Williams. I mean, at best, I think we're looking at, 5-6 potentials a game, maybe 7 on a great day. I don't mind it. I'm not that much in love with it, to be honest. She could get there. Hey, totally get there, but that one, I don't know about. Doubts a little bit on the bottom of the end, forcing turnovers. What was the other one? Paige. Let's see. I'm assuming this is more leaning into her steal prop than anything because I see her block was a demon play and then her steals were a demon play, but they got her at 1.5 steals. So let's look at this. All right, a little bit more active with the steals. The blocks, I mean, you're really not getting a whole lot out of that. Only had 1 block against them last year. Not in love with that one, I'll be honest. If I'm thinking blocks and steals, I'll probably float the fantasy option a little bit more. But, yeah, that's tough, man. That's tough.
Okay. It is good. It is all good. Never know. Could hit. Might not hit. But, yeah. From looking at that, I wouldn't feel super confident, but never know. Never know with those type of plays.
I think it's a reasonable play. If you're looking for something that's more outside of the box, totally fine.
Okay. Well, we're going to end this stream with 40 likes. That feels good.
That feels amazing. Seriously, cannot thank y'all enough. We're doing it for this exact reason, trying to hopefully feed the fam, make a little bit of coin, a little piece of change out here, if you will. And we just love doing it, man. Love talking about basketball. Ladies have been good to us so far this season. So fingers crossed, we're going to keep that going, ride it into this weekend.